it's right now. I'm just happy. I'm happy that you're doing well. I'm happy your wife is doing well. I'm happy that we're all healthy. You know, I miss Ralphie.
Yeah.
I'm sure you miss Patrice with all your heart. You know, every Saturday I think about Ralphie in the morning. And I just called the twins. I just called the Smash Brothers yesterday just because I went to lift. I went to lift and then I went to cryo to freeze. And while I was in cryo, I go, this is what Ralphie should have been doing on Tuesdays.
Do you know?
Ralphie should have been coming home on Sundays.
Yeah.
First flight out. Sleeping, eating dinner with his family, working out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and leaving on Thursday. Since he didn't do it, now I have to do it for him.
Well, you know, I mean, addiction is powerful. Whether it's food, gambling, drug, whatever it is, spending, it's powerful. It maybe in the last 6 months, I could finally listen to Patrice's comedy on the radio. If I'm in the car and Patrice comes on, I can listen to it. The second I heard his voice, I would turn it off. I couldn't listen to it. I'd get too depressed, you know, because we were, you know, I remember one night, me and Patrice, I was taking him home to Jersey City, and we're walking. I had to go in this house, go to the bathroom, and we're walking down the street, and I go, I don't have a fucking thing going on in this career. And he goes, man, I don't have shit happening. No agent, no manager, me either. I go, we got nothing. And then we just started cracking up and laughing. and just kept walking. And I remember that. And like just we had nothing. We were working Boston Comedy Club, you know, shit gigs on the road. And then, you know, 2 years later things are happening. But, you know, and other people had a bond with Patrice, but me and Patrice were close. You know, I mean, I'm closer with Norton, obviously. He was the best man at my wedding. But we were all tight. I mean, me, Norton, Patrice, Keith, you know, and little Kev came into the crew. But me and Patrice, you know, we would talk on the phone sometimes 2 hours at a time, at night, just talk, you know. I'd call him about this or he'd call me about that. He was trashing me on radio one day, beat me down so bad, talking about I had a little Porsche and he was driving an Escalade or whatever, and he beat me down saying I'm selfish, I have a Porsche, and he killed me. And I drove home furious. And then like 2 days later, I looked up the price of his car new and the price of my car new, and I text him. I go, my car new is better than your car new, costs more. He called me up, cracking up, going, you're still thinking about this shit? I go, you're still... He goes, I forgot about it when I walked out of radio. So we had so much, and I couldn't listen to him on the radio. I couldn't listen without getting so depressed. I wasn't close with my brother throughout my life when he passed away, and I wasn't as depressed. I was the most depressed when Patrice, even probably more than my mom. You know what I mean? Because when you're that close with somebody, good friends, and Billy and Bobby were close with, you know what I mean? He was just such a, and now I listen to his stuff on the radio. It's so fucking funny.
I put that Elephant in the Room on. That's the name of the album.
Yeah.
Once every 6 months.
So fucking good.
And I fucking laugh my ass off. Sometimes a tear comes to my eye because I think of what a great fucking talent he was. He was one of the headliners I went to see. 1 year I went on a headliner. I was losing my desire for comedy. I wasn't doing spots at the store, and I said, fuck it, I'm going to go watch every headliner at the Improv that year. And I think Geraldo was the best headliner I saw that year, but a tight second was...
Patrice.
Geraldo was just more...
polished, and he was...
Yeah, at that time.
And more joke-driven.
Right. Patrice was buck wild like me, talking about your pussy. And,
well,
and
Patrice had some clever shit about... Then he started getting into the whole relationship shit stuff, but it was real clever stuff. It wasn't hacky, male. It was just really misogynistic, but it was brilliant. You know what I mean? Just brilliant stuff. And I said this on Bennington's. I was doing fucking around with Ben. I go, you know, Patrice, I was sitting down on stage before Patrice on a stool. He stole that from me. I go, it was Cosby and me. Okay, and then Patrice took it. And fucking Bennington fucking killed me because I was just fucking... And they just... The internet, the Twitter, and it was just so fucking... They just beat me down saying... that Patrice, I said Patrice stole the sitting down from me. His funeral, I mean, the numbers, it was packed. And everybody went on and talked. Of course, I headlined. I closed it out. Kevin Hart went on, Colin before me, they're going to use me last, of course. I walked up at his funeral, and I go, before I get started, I just want to say, after the memorial, I'll be out front selling my CDs. But everybody who spoke at his funeral was funny and serious, and there would be laughing and tears, and he was just such he would be the best comic right now going, hands down.
So, yeah, I think so.
Hands down would be the best comic right now.
You know who said that a couple of years ago? Bill Burr said that in the main room back there doing the spot. And he goes that if he was alive today, he'd be fucking it up. That's crazy.
He was nothing. He was so controversial, and he was so honest. He always took the right side. He didn't always go, with if it was a black issue, he didn't always go with, because he was black. He goes, well, you know what? If you're wrong, this is the deal. You know what I mean? So, whatever. He was just a lot of great memories, a lot of good memories. Standing late at night out in front of Boston Comedy Club, me, him, Keith, Norton, just fucking trashing each other all night. Me and Patrice were walking from the cellar, and we stopping at Boston. And these guys are out of their mind, but Ben Bailey and DC Benny were there. And me and Patrice walked down. We beat them down real quick, verbally, walked in, beat them down, and walked out, right? And they think they beat us down. Like, Ben and DC Benny think they beat me and Patrice down. I go, not in a million fucking years. We came in, we knocked you out, and left. And we kept going, and we just walked down the street laughing. It was so much fun back then. Just so much fun.
Man, this comedy journey is a fucking... so you've been doing it now, how many years, comedy?
35.
What's the number one advice you have for comics, if you had to give anybody advice?
To just keep writing and get on stage wherever the fuck you can. I don't give a fuck if it's a knife fight. If you can do 10 minutes there, do it, because you're going to learn something. Just get on and see, here's what and study comedy. Know the history. Know what the fuck.
That's what I did. I really studied.
Yeah,
I
studied. I used to go watch comics and headliners and ask questions. Just like if you're going to the gym or your work, if you're taking any type of boxing or martial art, you're asking questions. When I used to go to when I first started going to the gym, I would ask, hey, how do you do this? What you just ask questions and watch and learn. Know the history of what you're doing. That's just, to me. Maybe it's a whole new scene out there with the internet and YouTube, but you could go to some comics now and bring up Kennison. They probably don't even know who the fuck he is. Or Hicks. They know who's that.
Yeah, no.
Know the history. Know, who fucking opened these doors. You know what I'm saying? People will come up to us and go, tough crowd is the reason I started comedy. A lot of people say that. But, I don't know why I said that. It just maybe for some narcissistic ego fucking reason. But I knew I studied comedy.
I studied it also.
I studied it. I listened to it. I watched it. I
chewed it. I fucking swallowed it like cum. I did everything. I did everything. I had to. I knew that for you to do this, you got to absorb yourself. And all styles. Yeah. Like I watched the guy that cut watermelons. I watched one of my favorite I'm not ashamed to say that, is the puppet guy. If
Which one?
Seeing him live, you'll die. The one that died was brilliant with his crack addiction and the phone booth on Tuesdays that he had the puppet, that the one from New York, the one that his dick had a little notch on it so you could snort coke out of it.
Otto and George.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I used to work with him all the time.
Yeah, that's brilliant stuff. The clean one. What's the clean one?
Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham. If you go watch Jeff Dunham, unless you're a hater, you'll laugh a little bit.
Same with Carrot Top.
I haven't seen Carrot Top in years, but
he's the best prop act. If you're gonna do props, he's the best, right? How many fucking prop acts are left? So you're right. Study
No,
it.
it's true. Study your comedy.
Study it.